Hi everybody and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. It's considerably grayer. I've got my cardigan on and not quite as hot as it was this time last week when we were on Blackpool prom, but nevertheless it's a lovely day, it's warm and it's dry, and that's all that matters. So we're going to take a look around. We're going to take a look around in the town and on the seafront, and we're going to see what's happening because it's getting around to that time of year again. So make sure that you've subscribed, make sure that you've hit the little bell for notifications, and don't forget to give this video a like. We'll go see what we can find. So these two little rays of sunshine here, I've just said to them, pardon the expression, but are you just stripping? Go on, do your thing, that's it. So anyway, the good news is that work is beginning. They are clearing out the building. Apparently it's not going to be a children's play area, but it's not going to be retail, it's going to be some kind of attraction. But at least something's happening, at least it's started. And that will nicely supplement Hole in Wand, which as you know is new and now open and now fully finished. Just here at the side of it, which is a crazy adventure golf type thing. So we need to pop back in there at some point actually and have a look at the finished thing. So there's all kinds of stuff happening in Blackpool, and when we just turn round, you will see that the windbreaks are all in place. They just started putting them up at this end here when we were on the prom last week. And I've got to say, last Monday when we were on the prom, it was enough to boil your socks off. And this week, well, it's considerably different. I've got jeans on and I'm just contemplating getting my Mac out of my bag. It's blowing a gale. You probably hear that though. So all the windbreaks up. Now we know how to do that with brute strength and a cherry picker.
When you're smiling.
I think they've all been on the funny juice today in Blackpool. So these guys are setting the stage up because the first thing to arrive at the Comedy Carpet Tower Festival Headland area is our fest, and it's kind of connected to Rebellion, which is the punk weekend, the punk event. So our fest is taking place on the prom over the bank holiday, August bank holiday weekend. Let's hope it's not quite this windy. Under the watchful gaze of the beautiful Blackpool Tower. And I'm really hanging on to my camera. It's really windy. So I've just asked these two security guys, and this on the back of here is a marquee, and the marquee is going here where these squares are. So that's a porter cabin by the look of it. Is it a porter cabin arriving, I wonder? Let's go and have a look. Or is it a porter cabin leaving? Or is it a generator? Could be anything, couldn't it? Looks like a porter cabin to me. So presumably the stage is going down here, I would imagine. Interesting. So the first event is our fest anyway, and then of course there's all kinds of different things. There's the switch on. There's various different events. Goodness, that looks shiny and bright when it's a bit of a dull day. That looks even brighter than it does when it's sunny. Carriages are all waiting for the customers. So things are coming and going this week in Blackpool. Let's go and ask this guy and see if he knows where the stage end is going to be. Look at this seagull here. I wondered what that was. I thought somebody was throwing something at me. Just watch this seagull. It's trying to get in a mussel shell. This is brains for you, this. It's dropping it on the comedy carpet. I've just heard another one clatter at the back of me. and they're lifting them up and flying with them, and then dropping them on the white surface, on the hard surface, so that they can get into the shell. That is brains, that. Where's he gone? Lost him, he's there. That is brains. Bird brain of Blackpool. I've seen them doing that in Cleveland. I thought someone was throwing something at me for a minute. It's exciting. It's always exciting when things start happening. I thought we'd have a bit of a different perspective on the steelwork that's the extension at the Hounds Hill. I noticed when I came up into the car park that it's a bird's eye view from this first level. So here we are, looking through the, I won't call it safety mesh, but screening to stop rubbish blowing in and out. I suppose pigeons as well, and seagulls. So you kind of get a sense of the size of it from here. Here's another piece of steel coming up. And what's on the end of that? Is it a... Oh, it's empty. I was just going to say, I wonder if it's a big beam. So this down here is access into the service bays. So you kind of go to your right and then round the side. And this straight in front of us, there's a car just coming down the ramp at the minute. The straight in front of us where the Winter Gardens is, that's the access road that you come in and out when you arrive and leave by car. So this is the straight underneath us here. This is the entrance into the car park. So it's all cracking on a pace. It's all cracking on a pace. Week by week by week it's growing. Very interesting. So in the next 12 months, the Showtime Museum is opening in the big black building on the seafront just down there. And for the next 4 weeks during the summer holidays, you can bring your little kiddies to the Showtime Activity Hub on Victoria Street. And they're doing all kinds of different activities. So we're going to go in and we're going to take a look because they're just wrapping up. They're just wrapping up for today. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. So you're just wrapping up, aren't you, for today? But you've been doing school activities. Well, school activities, kids activities. So go on, Vicky. Tell me what you've been doing.
Okay, so we've been it's an illuminations club today.
Right.
So we've wanted to create something that the children can take home and have a little look at the sensory, and it reminds them of the illuminations of Blackpool.
Fabulous.
So we've been using these recyclable jars that we've been putting beads in and glow in the dark stars.
Oh, we like glow in the dark stars.
We've used LED lights as well. So there's
Oh, that's lovely.
It's very sensory.
That's
and
lovely.
It's crazy and it's bright and it's glittery, rather like the illuminations themselves.
Oh, and then presumably they can take it home, can
And
they?
they can carry that home, and yeah, they can pop it in the window.
Oh, that's lovely.
So that's good. And then we've had light boxes over here.
And you're here the next 4 Mondays from, is it 11 Wild 2?
It is, yes.
11
so we've
Wild
been
2?
creating, these are sun catchers, summer sun catchers.
Oh, they're lovely.
So they're rather special. They stick on the windows.
They are.
And the sun shines through.
Like that one.
Today, we've been using light boxes.
Yeah,
So
because
once
it's
again,
left us, hasn't it? It's left us for today.
It resembles Blackpool illuminations. You could really find their inner artist and get a little bit crazy with their design.
Oh, they're
And
fab.
we've been designing illuminations.
They're fab. So there's plenty for little kids to do now then. Am I right in thinking that there's a collection of circus clowns on eggs?
Yeah, from a previous activity that we've done. But I have been here today. We've got some facts about the illuminations, so some really interesting stuff about the history. We've got guess the date of the illumination game, which is earlier or later. Don't suppose you fancy having a guess when this one was made?
92?
It was 1970.
Oh, goodness me, it's nearly as
For the
old as me
moon
then.
landing.
Nearly as old as me. And we've got some of these. We've got some
Yeah, we've
glasses.
got some glasses.
Yeah.
So we've got
dance, seaside, magic and circus themes coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Fabulous.
11 till 2 p.m.
11 till
in the
2.
activity
And it's
hall.
all free.
And
It's all free. There you go. That's a word you don't hear very often in Blackpool. Free. Free.
And that's brilliant for the community, isn't it?
Yeah. Welcome to the Winter Gardens, or in this case, goodbye to the Winter Gardens, because these guys are all packing up after the PDC darts. This morning when I parked at the Hounshill, you can just see down there there's still loads of vans. There were even more vans this morning, more vans and more lorries. So it looks like they've got most of the stuff out. So just imagine all those of you that have got a bad back having to fetch and all that lot in and then all that lot out. Oh goodness me, that must be, ooh, ouch. That one collapsed. That one collapsed. That must be a right job emptying all them. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll just cross the road. Just a sec, let's not get knocked down. That's another one of their vans. I've just looked inside the loading bay, just down here, and there's actually a lorry parked inside the loading bay, which I didn't even know lorries would fit in there. So you can see all the other vans and things. It's really interesting. I think it's just as interesting watching what they do to set an event up and get rid of it and all the rest of it as it is actually going to the event itself. But then I'm weird. So this is the main entrance of the Winter Gardens, and you can just see that there's a series of posters above the door. Look, welcome to the Winter Gardens, Betfred World Match Play Darts. And that's been home to them for a week or more. And these guys are packing the chairs up, look, and putting them in taking them out of the loading bay and putting them in the van. Get me out ofs and intals the right way around. I think these chairs look like they've perhaps seen better days. So what I didn't realise, this loading bay might just be able to tell as we walk past, is huge. And you can just see that there's a van inside through the slats. They actually owe me a 2 and 6 penny tour of the conference centre, so we might get to see inside that when I do that. What a difference. You might remember that this is where the fabric shop was. So this is Edward Street. And most of the properties have been renovated. Goodness gracious me, it looks so nice. I think it's the first time this morning I've actually managed to walk down here and these loading bays have been empty. So while there weren't any vehicles parked, I thought we'd just quickly take some pictures and just capture it because it just looks so nice. These new shop fronts that were done as part of Quality Corridors just finish it off. And that brings us on to Cedar Square and the market. So the roof's been fiberglassed. You can't actually see from down here, but there's a guy up there. You can just see him doing his work. I've just asked if I can possibly just have a look at the back of the fence, and sadly the answer was no, so we'll see if we can have a little peep through this gap and see if we can actually see anything. That'll be the first time we've peeped through this gap. And there's some plasterboard appearing, look. So things are happening. So that'll be interesting when it gets finished. I've been to the street market. I'm really looking forward to seeing that done. Can't wait to get inside. I've just been in number 5, which is the Blue Cafe here. Very nice cafe if you're ever in need of a brew. Most of these are open early evening as well if you're around shopping or going to a show and you want some food. I should have taken a picture of the roof from upstairs, shouldn't I? Because It's really transformed it. Oh, you can just see it there, look. You see the grey fiberglass. Little bit of a snippet here. I have it on good authority. I have it on good authority that somewhere on Bailey Street, I'm not quite sure which unit, somebody is going to open quite shortly a cafe with cats. That's right, you heard it here. A proper cafe with proper furry live cats roaming around, and you'll be able to pet them and stroke them and talk to them and all the rest of it, which would be lovely if you like cats and you're not able to have one. Another little snippet. So I hope you've enjoyed that little look around Blackpool at things that are coming and going this week. Hard to believe that it's nearly time for illuminations again. So don't forget, make sure that you've subscribed, make sure that you've hit that little bell for notifications, and make sure that you've signed up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter. And then you'll know exactly what we've been up to and where we've been and what we've been videoing. So from a slightly dull but still quite warm Blackpool, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye for now.